Welcome guys to an AI Dungeon Adventure Chapter 10, the big 1-0. Really guys, your support throughout this series have meant so much to me and I seriously appreciate it. We are also getting pretty close to 100 subscribers, which have been a small goal for me for a while, so if you would consider subscribing, that would also mean really much to me. Before we head into chapter 10, I have something to say. I am sick today, so that's why my voice is kind of different, and I hope that won't be an issue and that you still can enjoy this episode even though I may be a bit more low energy than usual. Maybe that's for the positive. I don't know. I'm usually pretty high energy, so maybe we could do with a little change. But as always, the art that you see on your screen right now is my brother's artwork of Galder, the main protagonist of the story. You can find his other artworks on Patreon/Spiham or Instagram/Spiham, and I really appreciate that he takes time making these artworks for us. His comic on Patreon is free to read too. So if you want to consider reading his own comic, it's free. I would really consider it. It's great. So please think about it. And without any further ado, let's go. Last time we fought our way through the duel with Shinjin, and we also managed to become teammates with him. We learned his motivations and he learned ours, and so we created a small bond. We also arrived at the tomb of the Blind Shogun, which we have yet to open. So let's just head into it. One more thing. The first section of this video will be some pre-written content that I wrote on my spare time. So if you like my own personal touches within the story, I really hope you enjoy this and look forward to seeing it. So lean back and enjoy, and let's open the tomb. Malak, Shinjin, Edgar and Kraler is standing next to you in front of an empty room with a large, undetailed tomb in the middle. The air is wet, and the chilling temperature is biting into your skin. The tomb reads, "The Blind Shogun, the warrior of the Dragon's Eye, lies here." You walk closer and examine the simple tomb, sliding your finger across the heavy lid. Kraler and Edgar stands at each side of the tomb and lift the top off. Inside the tomb oozes a smell of bone meal and dust, covering the air around us. Behind the dusty air is a withered skeleton who were once named Yoshitaro, the Blind Shogun, but now he is just another lost soul banished from the realm of man. Next to him is an even more withered parchment, which seems to be nearly falling apart, but with a closer inspection, it looks like the scroll itself that were once used to banish the dark god Morgwek. You pick up the old piece of paper, and as expected, you see nothing. With the blind eye, the writing cannot be read, but at least the scroll of the Blind Shogun is in your possession. You put it into your leather bag and turn around only to hear a large banging sound from the deep darkness you came from. It's pitch black, so Malak moves her candle a bit closer to the entrance, but you can still not see anything unusual. There is about 10 seconds of silence before Kraler asks, "What was the The sound appears once more, but now it is closer than before. Shinjin puts his hand on his sword. You and Edgar do the same. Malak summons a fireball and Kraler pulls out his morning star. All of you stand still in the pitch black cave, looking at each other confused. But then you hear another banging sound, followed by heavy breathing, and from the darkness, a dark silhouette approaches. It wears an old-fashioned mask used by the Shinkenzen samurai, and it's wielding a gigantic red sword.
あなたは巻物を探すためにここに来ましたね。
The man says. Shinjin translates. It asks us if we came here to seek the scroll. Warrior from the west, this is much worse than I thought. This is an old demon from the ancient world, protecting the grave of its former master. They were spirits used by the shoguns to fight for them, but now they wander alone in the darkness, protecting their master's graves. Be careful with your next words, silver hair. You look at the tall creature and say, we came here to save the world your master once lived in, the world that's now collapsing under our feet. Your presence is not frightening to us. We came here with respect and good intentions. We will make sure that your master's death will be meaningful, and we will follow in his footsteps.
私の囚人は一人で休むでしょう。そして今あなたはここに来て彼の眠りを邪魔しました。私はここにあなたを死に宣告します。
Yells the creature. He says, my master shall rest alone, and now you have come here and disturbed his slumber. I hereby sentence you to death. Shinjin screams as he lunges forward and deflects the demon's deadly slash. Its fierce red blade is glowing in the darkness as he swings it back and forth. But then, the ground starts to shake. We lose our balance and fall to our knees. And that's when we fully realized that the dragon's eye were not only a password, it's where we are standing. The ground starts to shake even more and moves forward as the roof of the tunnel starts to collapse. What the fuck is going on? You yell as the speed is gaining. Before you realize what is happening, you are all pushed outside the cave and into the air, still standing on the ground. And as you look down, you see that the ground you were all standing on, the mountain itself, was a gigantic flying dragon. One of the Shinkenzen mythological creatures. Its scale is blue, and it's long and slender, reaching over 50 meters. You look down to see Hans, Sir Vincent, Lena and Garrett with shocked expressions staring up at us. We all hold on to the dragon's scales, as it flies at immense speed away from the remains of the mountain we were just climbing. The dragon was inside the mountain? I asked Shinjin as we struggled to hold on to the sharp scales. It seems so. I have never seen one. I knew they existed, but they have been gone for centuries. Last time they were seen was when Yoshitaro used the scroll to banish Morgwick. To your information, silver-haired knight, this dragon is one of the beasts I have been telling you about. These are the creatures my people worked so hard to tame in the age of the ancients. And now something woke them up from their eternal slumber. Shinjin explains. You ask him, how many creatures like this are there, and how did the dragon wake up? He answers, there are many, many beasts like this, in all shapes and sizes. Man-slaughtering creatures, powerful enough to destroy entire armies. If this one has awoken, the rest of them has most likely awoken too. And there is only one man who can truly tame them. Morgwick, the Dark God. After hearing this, you look down and feel an urge to give up and just let go. You look at your teammates hanging onto the scales, struggling. You feel powerless, devastated, defeated. You wipe a tear from your cheek and then you look up. You look up at the sky and the bright sun shining on your heavy armor. You stare at the sun. You don't even blink. And beneath the sun you see the possibilities of a new dawn. Beneath the sun you see the essence of hope. You see the everlasting light from the burning core of the sun. You feel your heart pumping like crazy, your sweat pouring down. You feel a rush of hope. You blink, you grab the scales tighter than ever, and pull yourself on top of the dragon's back. You grab your teammates' hands and pull them up with you and look at the massive dragon that you are currently riding on. You see the head of the dragon 50 meters in front of you. It's terrifying, but it's the most beautiful sight you have ever seen. A mythological creature, flying through the air with you on top of it. This journey was more than you ever expected it to be. Behind you is the dragon's tail, and on top of it is the demon from earlier, still determined on killing you and retrieving the scroll which belonged to its master. There, the Oni is back, Shinjin says, and you all ready your weapons. You would appreciate an arena more suitable for fighting, but the dragon's back should do for now. You don't got much of a choice. You attack the Oni together. You slash your sword at him, but he easily deflects it. Krayler swings his Morningstar on him, but the Oni simply grabs it and punches Krayler in the face, nearly breaking his nose. Edgar lunges at him and manages to stab the Oni in his arm, but even though Edgar is sheer force and willpower, the Oni pulls the sword out of his arm and he used the blade of the sword to pull Edgar close to him and knocks him out with his fist. Malak fires a fireball onto him, which he grabs in his hand and dissolves it with his fingers. She sends some ice bolts in the Oni's direction, which hits his legs, before he pulls them out and breaks them. The last one up is the Shinkenzuan samurai himself, Shinjin, who knows Eastern combat like the back of his hand. They fight for a long time. Their swords deflect each other's attacks. Shinjin's precision is formidable, and he manages to stay uninjured long enough for the rest of us to regain our strength. "Shinjin, down!" you yell as you rush towards the Oni. Shinjin bows down and you step on his back and jump sky high, flying down at the unprepared Oni. At the same time, Krayler knocks the weapon out of the Oni's hand, leaving him vulnerable. As you fly down towards him, he guards his face with his hands and your sword pierces his left hand, which makes him let out a horrid scream. The scream is so loud and powerful that you all cover your ears, and then you see a gigantic shadow above you, and as you turn around, you see the face of the dragon right next to you. Gigantic, furious with a hot, steamy breath. The scream let out by the Oni was loud enough to catch the dragon's attention, and it starts to wiggle heavily, making us all fall over. We grab the scales with all our strength, but it's not enough. You feel your grip slowly letting go, and in a split second, you fall off, flying through the air and the thick clouds. You gain speed as you fall downwards, but the thick clouds makes it impossible to see anything. As you get closer and closer to the face of the earth, you can see the ocean right beneath you, and in a matter of seconds you fall through the water and down in the deep darkness of the ocean. You feel your heavy armor pulling you to the depths, but with all your strength you start to slowly swim for the surface. Your lungs is filled with the salty water, and your vision starts to blur, and you start to get weaker and weaker. But then you think of the sun, the rush of hope, your new motivation, and as you regain consciousness, you reach the surface and eject from the ocean. You cough, you breathe for air, and throw up the water from your lungs. In front of you is a small shoreline, closer than you thought, so you start to swim for it, and after a couple minutes, you find yourself soaked and exhausted in the hot sands of the Tali Mar desert. There is nothing but patches of sand around you, and you realize that you are all alone. No sight of the Oni nor your teammates. For the first time since Gahar, you are on your own, with no clue of your location or your friend's whereabouts. You have no other choice than walking through the burning deserts and hopefully find a shelter. You set out on your walk across the Talimar Desert. Welcome back, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that pre-written 15-minute long scenario that just happened. I worked on it for a while and I was really happy with the outcome. And now we are in the desert, alone, without any of our teammates or any clue of where we actually are. The only thing we know is that we are in the Talimar Desert. So, you set out on your walk across the Talimar Desert. Let's just see what the AI's got in store for us. The AI actually, I put all the text from the previous scenario into the AI system, and it added a response on the end that goes like this. You walk for several hours until the sun starts to fall down behind the horizon. You look around, keeping an eye out for every little detail, but see nothing. And it's really fitting to the story actually, so I'm just gonna let it be there. And let's write, you keep on walking. And as I said previously, I'm still kind of sick, but I think I'll recover in a day or something, so I'm all good. But if I sound a bit low energy, yeah, you know the reason. I hope you can just bear with it. You keep your eyes on the patch of desert, keeping an eye on the shifting sands. The wind blows and you keep walking. Galdar has to be so tired right now. What a long day. With your hood up, you feel the flow of the air as it blows past, chilling you to the bone. Okay, let's keep on walking. See what the AI does next. It is not long before night falls, and the desert goes pitch black. You keep on walking, but your eyes are beginning to ache from the strong sunlight. I'm gonna say, where the fuck am I? Because Galdar is so tired and is starting to talk to himself and just not understanding how he came to this point. Your eyes adjust to the darkness and you can see a faint blue glow in the sky. As you look in the direction of the horizon, you see a faint blue glow. The sky is red. I think I'll retry that. You can't see shit. You don't know where you are, and you're not going to sit around waiting to die in the middle of the desert. You know what to do, guys. You keep on walking even further. You realize you're walking into a trap, but you don't know where the hell you are. You need to get off the surface, but you don't... okay, retry. You keep on walking in the dark night. You don't know for how long, but you know that you have been walking for hours. Maybe even for a couple of days now. Look for any sign of civilization. Let's see if Galdar can find any sign of any city or outpost or anything. You walk for some time, but you don't find any sign of life. You try to keep your hopes up that someone will come by, but as the hours go by, you are starting to lose hope. You keep walking until you decide to lie down in the sand. You don't know how long you have been walking. It could be days, weeks, or months, but you're exhausted and can't think straight. This is really taking a toll on Guller's mental stability. You end up falling asleep in the desert and don't wake up. Okay, so we passed out. Oh, okay. I guess the AI just killed us off, so let's try to collect ourselves. You try to collect yourselves. It should be yourself, but yeah. Oh, new element. A strange plague has struck the people of Agadoria and Kedar, stripping them of their humanity and turning them into rage-filled demons. Wow. So the army is getting bigger. You just can't fucking take it anymore. You lie down in the sand and close your eyes, and that's when you hear a voice. Ah, my lord, are you alright? A person? Or is this just hallucinations? Please say it's a person. You look at your side and you see a man wearing fine leather armor with a metal mask over his face. He has one blue eye and one brown eye. I can't fucking see. Who is this guy? You say, holding up your palm to block out the sun's gaze. He draws his sword slowly and it cuts through the darkness as it glows faintly in your hand. What? Okay, let's remove the last part there. A man with one blue and one brown eye. Is this a new character? Can you help? Oh god, help me. I need to find water or any sign of life. Like, Guller is almost dying out here. Yes, certainly, the demon says, drawing his sword. Come, I will take you to a city. The demon turns and runs towards the nearby dunes, leaving you with no other choice. Oh, okay, I can make sense out of this. The world event that just happened with the plague, I imagine that he was one of the affected, and he's like a man who's slowly becoming a demon, and that's why he wears this mask. Maybe that's why one of his eyes is another color too, because it's slowly turning into a demon. We can... Okay, let's just follow the demon man. You get up from the ground and begin to follow the demon. He leads you through the night until you reach a large tower made of bone and darkness. This is my home, he says. Okay, retry. You run after the demon, keeping your dagger at the ready. You're tired, thirsty, hungry, and in pain, and you need to find water. Okay, hopefully he's gonna lead us to a city. You need to know if this man is trustworthy. He holds his sword ready as if waiting for an attack. Soon, the man leads you to a small oasis with palm trees and lush green grass. Oh. Drink water and eat some fruits from the trees. Just gotta get some nutrition. You quickly guzzle down as much water as you can, ignoring the fact that it's undrinkably warm. You quickly stop as your stomach starts to rumble. You look down and see that it's been hours since you've eaten. Demon, the man shouts. The man pulls out what appears to be a bazooka from... Okay. Retry. Here, take some water, the demon says, giving you a skin of water. You quickly guzzle it down before going back to eating some of the delicious green fruits on the tree. Thank you. Are you one of the demon or men affected by the demon plague? I don't know if I wrote plague correctly, but yeah. I wish, but no. I've always been a bastard. Still, it's good to be able to walk about without... Okay, retry. Oh no, my lord. I'm but a simple soldier of doomed keep. I was captured by those barbaric villagers. Anyways, the plague has struck that village and they are in danger. Is it safe to enter? So I guess he's just a normal demon then, wearing a mask. But the city is plagued. Is struck by that plague. So it seems like we're in some unstable territory at the moment. Is it safe to enter? Yes, of course. It's winter. No one should be out there. The demon begins walking into the desert and you follow him. Okay. You walk out of the oasis and into the desert, heading towards a distant village. It takes about a day to get there, but eventually you see it. Your eyes get wide as you see the village. You hear screams and shouts from within, as well as the roar of the demons. Shit, this is a disaster, the demon says. The demons have already taken over the village. I'm gonna remove that and I'm gonna write... The plague has already started to infect the citizens. I guess that makes more sense with the world events that's been going on. Okay, let's just let the AI continue. You see the plague take its toll on the people. They begin to howl and tear at their own flesh as you see a few escape the village and chase after you. Look for Malik, Kraler, Edgar, or Shinjin. Let's just see if some of them are here. This is the closest village to where we fell off, so... You quickly make your way towards the center of town where the four of you should be. You find Malik wielding a sword with two hands against a horde of infected. Okay, so we found Malik. Good to know. So she's safe. Really, really good to know. Help Malik fight off the infected demons. You quickly help Malik swing her sword. Two infected bite her legs. What? And you swing your arm and smash the infected in the face, crushing its skull. The two infected are knocked away from her. Should I just retry that? Okay, I'm gonna retry that. You wield your dagger, holding it with one hand and rushing in to help Malik. I'm gonna replace that with the sword. And rushing in to help Malik. Nice. Together, the four of you hold the line as the demons struggle to attack you. The four of us? the two of us. The two of you hold the line as the demons struggle to attack you. How many can you bring together, you ask? I can bring 4 to fight, and another... okay. Remove that. And let the AI continue. It's not an easy fight. You see Edgar desperately hacking at the demons while Kraler stands back using his pistol to great effect, killing many demons with a few shots. Retry? We haven't met them yet, so... doesn't make much sense. Thank you, friend, Malik says, parrying a strike. Hey, I'm not friend zoned by Malik. I'm gonna say thank you. Love. After all we've been through, I think I deserve a better nickname than friend. You nod, and another demon comes at you. You duck, then deflect the blow, then quickly run it through. We need to get out of here. Do we have any mounts? Horses? Camels? Just anything we can get away quickly with. In the chaos, you don't have any kind of mounts. The demons are starting to overwhelm the soldiers. Some of them, having caught you up, decide to stick around instead of fleeing the scene. This is not our job, Malik. We need to get the scroll to Agadori. Let's go. We gotta prioritize our quest right now. We can't stay here. Right, let's go, Malik says, running to a horse. Okay, so we found a horse. Nice. You run to the nearest horse and get onto it. You and Malik ride off into the desert dunes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are where we will end this chapter. I'm again sorry for the low energy and the messy, messy dialogue or monologue because I'm sick, but I'm sure you all understand. And I felt like we covered a lot of ground this episode. We've really gotten far into the story. And I'm really happy with the outcome. So please consider subscribing, liking, giving me a comment on what you liked or disliked. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.